One word sums up my entire house this morning. Disaster.
What is that?
My special Vicky's s'more mix.
Who's gonna eat all that?
You make it with cereal and chocolate and marshmallows, and then I break it up into little bags with a Christmas ribbon. Everybody loves it, except you.
The entire downstairs is covered in mail, cookies, whatever that crap is in the kitchen, or gifts. And I mean everywhere. I literally had to clear a spot for me to sit down and eat my breakfast and then wipe off all the cookie sprinkles. The table felt like someone's been shooting flies with that assault gun. So I finally get my bowl of cereal and my Mountain Dew, and Vicky swipes my phone.
Oh, I wasn't filming that whole time.
She definitely struggles with operating a smartphone. She can't hardly record anything the right way or at the right times. But she had to make sure she got some of these cookies in the video.
Baby penguins.
Hey, what are you doing?
I tried to do Max from Grinch, but his face is hard.
Hey,
I gotta work on that.
you need to get your own channel.
It's the week of Christmas, come on.
You're yelling at me, don't show my mess. The mess is freaking everywhere.
Everywhere, I know.
It's everywhere we look. Look, I barely have some place to sit down and eat my breakfast. What on earth are you doing now?
Packaging up some things. It's a very busy week around here. Lots of things to ship, lots of baking, lots of shopping yet to do. I haven't even started wrapping.
And you haven't fluffed yourself today.
No, I haven't even curled my hair yet, which
You're
I'm
a
sure
mess.
you're gonna show.
I give up arguing with her. I go in the living room to sit down and put my shoes on. I can't even do that. Our house gets like this every year at Christmas. So I got shushed out of the house pretty early this morning. I go to look for my work gloves, can't find them. I didn't get halfway down the damn sidewalk and I get a clue as to what happened to them. One of them's laying there in the grass. I'll bet you anything that damn Scrappy got a hold of them. Who knows where the other one's at. Whatever. I got a core I need to take back to Mark's, and I broke a hydraulic line on the excavator the other day, smashing those stupid 55-gallon drums. So I need to get that fixed. So I load up the 2 turd barrels into the Suburban, and we start making our way down to Buckeye Lake to go see Mark at A1. I think Scrappy's trying to make up for taking off with my damn gloves. She was extra needy this morning. These 2 idiots are something else. Quite the pair of co-pilots. Anyway, we start turning into A1, and guess what? They're licking their chops as usual, drooling all over me. The instant I touch that door handle, it's like racehorses taking off across my lap. Mark was pretty busy this morning when we got there. They had to wait a few minutes for him to get out the treat bucket, but they finally got him. I handed over to Mark my first place trophy for smashing drums, and he managed to find all new fittings and the correct size hose to get me hooked up good as new. He also got me a couple quarts of gear oil for the Muncie 4-speed and the 55, a new oil filter, a couple cases of brake cleaner, and helped me carry everything out to the Suburban. After that, you know where we're headed. Vicky had me stop at Wendy's and pick up lunch for her and Paige the Deuce. So you know what the dogs get. They get their own Frosty. I always try to hold them back using a spoon, but eventually they're eyeballs deep in that cup with their snout clear to the bottom of it, trying to get every last drop. Anyway, once we got done with our Frosty, I put that new hydraulic hose on the excavator and fired it up to check for leaks. With help, of course. And like clockwork, here comes Paige Ann, riding the Deuce caboose. She's come to crap in my bathroom again this morning and eat lunch with Vicky. Hey, I was nice enough to get you a hamburger. You believe that? You got a Wendy's Junior Bacon Schnozzburger in there. Your sister made me do it. Oh,
Hand that to Paige.
oh. Here you go, Your Highness.
Aww.
Your Grinchiness.
Wait, where's my ketchup?
You don't get any. Hey, get out of that. That's not for you.
Oh,
That's not for Grinches.
I'm gonna lick all of it.
No, you're not.
He doesn't even like
I don't like it, but I don't like that you're getting into it more.
So anyway, once I got done harassing Paige, I went back out to the shop to get started working on the 55. I set the 4-speed up inside the parts cleaning tank, and I'd already started soaking it with some Stoddard solvent to get some of the grease and the crud broke loose off of it. I was finishing up with a parts cleaning brush and then sprayed it off with some brake cleaner to finish getting it all cleaned up nice. Once I had it cleaned up pretty decent, I pulled the sight plug out of the side, turned it over on its side, and laid it on a 5-gallon bucket to drain the gear oil out. Old Scrappy wasn't too excited about the smell of gear oil. She didn't like it. While that transmission was draining out, I started cleaning up the mess in the parts cleaning tank, and look what the cat drug in. Perfect timing, because I needed to go to Jegs anyway, and I figured Billy's as good a chauffeur as I could possibly get. I went in to see Uncle Terry and picked up some stuff for the 55 Chevy. While we're at Jegs, Vicky's starting beef and noodles for dinner tonight, and by the time we got back to the shop, it was just damn near dinner time. I went ahead and set the 4-speed up on the workbench, put a new rear seal in it, and put a couple of quarts of gear oil in it before I put it up in the car. That was just about the time Mr. Kenny showed up. He came to help us put this thing back up in the 55 Chevy. My back's so bad I can't hardly lift stuff like that anymore. But Mr. Kenny can. He lifted the old 4-speed up in there and it went right back where it came from. No problem. The old 55 is pretty easy to work on. There's only 4 bolts that hold the transmission to the bell housing. There's no cross member, no transmission mount. And then all you got to do, once the transmission's bolted to the bell housing, is put the shifter back on, double check the shifter adjustment, and put the drive shaft back in. Once we were done up underneath the car, Kenny put the shifter boot back on and the shifter knob, and Billy and I went in to eat dinner. right, guys, so we just got back from a little test drive in the 55. Everything seems pretty good. We changed oil in it, of course, put fresh gear oil in the transmission, fixed the clutch linkage, and throwout fork was off the pivot ball. So we got that fixed. I don't know. I went down, filled it up with some Turbo Blue tonight. I'd like for it to sit over the winter time with some good fuel in it if it's going to sit. But it's running really good, and I think it's ready to put away for the year. I'm going to miss it for sure. That car has always been my therapy. When things aren't going well or if I'm having a rough day, sometimes it's good just to jump in the old 55 and go for a little ride. You can't hardly be upset or frustrated with the world when you're cruising around in a black 4-speed small block 55 Chevy, right? At least I can't. It always helps me. I know Mom and Dad's been concerned it didn't have an air filter on it. They worry about it backfiring and catching fire. I understand. So I went ahead and put an air filter on it today and got that taken care of. I know Mom and Dad's always worried about that. So I don't hardly ever run an air filter on any of my street cars, but I don't really drive them in dusty, dirty conditions. But this thing, I kind of like to keep mice out of it, you know, if they want to get down in the carburetor or something, if it's sitting this winter. So went ahead and got an air filter put on it today, and that turned out pretty good. So it was good to see Billy today. He stopped in, and the plan was to go get Tommy's truck today and bring it back here and put it in the shop. But I don't know what the heck's going on down there. Something about there's a car sitting in front of the door, and it's been there for a while. It was supposed to be moved today, and it's not moved. And AJ doesn't have the keys to the car. I don't know. I'm thinking we might go down there with the Cummins the next trip and just hook a log chain to whatever the hell we can't move easily, drag it out of the way. And we need to get that truck back here because it's going to turn sour. The weather's going to turn sour on us here pretty soon. And I'll be damned if I'm going to drag Tommy's S10 home in the salt and the snow. So hopefully by tomorrow's Tuesday. So hopefully by day after tomorrow, we'll have Tommy's truck hauled back here. We'll get it put in the garage. One way or the other, we got to get that done, because I think we're going to go try and test maybe Thursday this new carburetor on Billy's truck. So we'll see how that goes. We got a lot going on this week, and I want to try and get that dumpster out of here that's sitting out back, and we got to get Kenny's Camaro brought in here tomorrow. I want to get it in here and get it backed in so we can compile a list of everything that Kenny's Camaro needs. I know it needs a lot of electrical works. The electrical system in that car is a total disaster. The last time I looked at that, I thought, oh my gosh. I know I saw a few people comment and asking some questions about Kenny's car. And Kenny's car is not stock. It's actually got a fairly decent engine in it. I think it's a 383 small block. But I think someone cornswoggled him on a set of heads or something. I don't know. I got a feeling the cylinder heads on it are way too small. When he first drove that car out here, it was on pump gas. And after he put those cylinder heads on, he drove it out here again on pump gas. And it was terrible. It was overheating, it was dieseling, it was bad. It was all bad. I told Kenny to get that pump gas out of it and go down to the fuel station where I went tonight with the 55 and go put some race gas in it. And he came back with race gas in it, and then it ran okay. I got a sneaking suspicion that the cylinder heads on it are probably some kind of claimer head or something for like the roundy round racers. Definitely a small, like a 305 head or something. I don't know. All I know is they're very small. We'll see what we get into with it. We'll see if we can't at least make it run decent. It is carbureted. It's been converted to a carburetor. However, the fuel pump on it, I think, is really weak. I know we're going to have to put a fuel pump in it of some kind, and a lot of electrical work. That's all I can tell you. A lot of electrical work. So stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow is Kenny Day. Mr. Kenny finally gets his IROC moved in the garage. Good night, everybody.